Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I am LadySmitan, and today's video is a speed build of the house that I'm going to be using for my first Let's Play, because I finally got my audio problem sorted, and apparently it was a super simple fix and I should have googled it sooner, so that is my fault. Sort of also my boyfriend's fault, because it was his headset, and when I discovered the solution and was super excited about it, he was like, "Oh yeah, I should have known that, because you need that to use it on an Xbox as well." I was like, "Oh, thanks for telling me." Spending weeks moaning about it when I could have fixed it really easily. So, this house is for 3 Sims to live in. 2 of the Sims out the front. The other Sim is a bit of a secret, but you'll meet them in the LP. The house itself, I googled, and an image, like I just googled family homes, and this image came up and it looked pretty cool, it looked pretty interesting. So I didn't replicate it exactly, I sort of mimicked it. There are a couple of pauses in this video where I was answering messages or I was sorting out things in the house, so sorry about that. But it actually gives me a little bit more time to talk, so I left them in, which is, I don't know, probably the worst editing ever, but I needed to say a few things in this video, so I didn't take them out. So I'm not going to say too much about the Let's Play. The house, like itself, exterior wise, changes a couple of times. I move things around, and this video is part 1 of 2, hopefully 2 anyway. I haven't actually recorded the rest, so we'll find out if it's 3, hopefully not. It's quite funny, I got really excited that I could finally record my LP, and I'd been planning it for ages, so I was like, oh my god, yay! And I ran to go play it, and then I realised, oh, I never actually built the house, so I had to do this video first, and I wanted to do a speed build of it so you guys could sort of see what I did, and it's a bit of an interesting house. I'm not used to really building sort of, it sounds weird to say I'm not used to building family homes, because a lot of the homes I have built are geared towards families, but they sort of are interesting looking or different, or like random houses that I googled off the internet. Again, this one too, random house, but more homely looking. The other ones are a bit like, they might be Scandinavian inspired or like inspired from Amsterdam, or I was doing a fixer-upper challenge. So it didn't really occur to me to do family homes before now, and I kind of struggled a little bit with it, but I feel I like how it turned out in the end. It was a bit more of a struggle though, since I wasn't used to it, so it took me a bit longer, which is why I've had to do 2 separate videos, hopefully 2 separate videos and not 3. If I'd kept them as just one video, it would have ended up nearly being an hour, I think, because I haven't even finished recording the build. I'm still doing the interior, and the small amounts of interior that I have already recorded added to this that I've recorded was nearly 30 minutes long. I was like, oh my god, that is way too long. No one's gonna watch an hour-long build of a Let's Play house, which I'm happy sort of with the house. I mean, there's in the interior, I feel like I could have done better. I sort of didn't really know, like, I know the characters, I've designed the characters myself, so normally that helps, but I just struggled a bit more and I wasn't really sure what I was doing, and I'll probably end up doing a renovation video at some point when I feel like I know how the house should look a bit more on the inside. I had some other people have a look at it, some friends that I've met on SimsAmino. I had SimorLater and Chloe Simmer look at it, and they both said it was great, but oh, also iSimmeric, I think her name is. I had them look at it, and they all said it looked really good, and they liked how I was going with it, but I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it personally, so I might go back and do it again at some point, but we'll see. That's not for now anyway. For now, I just wanted to get the house sorted as much as possible so I could actually start the Let's Play, and I like the structure, so the structure's going to stay as is. It's just the interiors might change. I sort of didn't really know what to do with the floor plan or anything. I was just, I don't know, it was a bit of a mess. But let me know what you guys think. You might really like the interior when I release the second video, and you might think I'm totally mental for hating it. Well, I don't hate it. I was just confused by it. I did, again, a bit of a mismatched rooms, because the characters I'll describe a little bit. I don't want to give too much away of them, but there's 2 characters outside. There is Evan and Derek is into gardening and the wellness skill and cooking. He really loves cooking. He's going to be in the culinary career, and I wanted to give him sort of a really happy, nice kitchen to to cook in, and the kitchen I end up doing, which you won't see in this video, you'll see in the next one, is very colourful and bright, but I felt like I probably need to change it so it's a bit more earthy, but I'll figure that out. I might change it between now anyway. I don't know. And Evan is a writer, so he gets his own sort of nook area behind the stairs for his desk and his books and things. But again, I thought maybe I should have built him his own study, but I didn't. So maybe I'll have to go back and do that and sort of rearrange the house and figure out the layout a bit better. And the kitchen probably isn't as big as I should have made it, and it's a joint kitchen dining room, and I probably should have done them separately as well, so you could have like really fancy dinner parties, or I don't know. But for now, it is what it is, and we'll just play in it when I start the Let's Play, and maybe you guys can give me some advice on what you think I should do with the house and how you think I should change it. Um, there I was putting in an entryway, and there's like that sort of hidden under area there at the front, which is actually a like car parking area. Obviously we don't have real cars in The Sims 4 yet. I'm hoping we do in the future, but I really like that in the design, so I kept it in. And that means there's two entryways at the front. There's the really big entryway with that big fancy door where the garage would be, and then there's a smaller entryway through those arches, which I think I'm actually going to set as the front door, because I feel like that would be the entryway that the family would use, and then the big fancy door is more for when they get like deliveries of large items or stuff, which again I know doesn't happen in The Sims, but that's something I'm going to have when I have a house. I'm going to have a certain doorway somewhere, either at the back or the front, where people can get furniture through easily, because I've moved house a couple of times. It can be a nightmare when you can't get furniture through your doors and you have to take out a window or something ridiculous to get a couch in. So I don't know, a bit more crazy strange realism from me. And I do very minimal landscaping. I don't think it's so over the top or like really lush or anything. I just add in some bushes and plants and trees at the front, and the two different walkways. And I didn't do the garden yet because I've sort of leave the back garden till the end of my builds normally, so that probably won't happen till the second video or possibly a third video. Really hoping there isn't a third video. And here I was taking out some walls because I wanted to make the floor plan downstairs a little bit more open, which gave them a really massive hallway, which again, I probably don't need to have a massive hallway. And upstairs there are 3 bedrooms, but again, I will explain that a bit more in the future when I'm doing the LP. And I can sort of tell you more about the characters and the storyline and sort of the idea behind the characters. I used very large windows from the romantic garden stuff, which I've never used before, but they're very nice and they looked quite similar to the one in the actual picture that I was using as inspiration. In the original picture, the house had orange tiled roofing and it was plaster on the front, but it was sort of cream plasters and orange stone work on certain areas. But on here, where the certain areas were orange, I've put more brick, sort of faded old brick stonework, which came with Dine Out, and I really like those faded brick, not stone. So I wanted to use that, and I thought it looked quite nice. And then to go with that, I went with a light green plaster and a sort of charcoaly grey plaster, which worked quite well, went quite nice. And then the different like white and grey windows worked with that as well. Putting in lots of plants from the romantic garden stuff pack because I really love them, and lupins are my favourite plants in real life, so I had to put in a fair few of those everywhere. And I didn't want it to look too like pristine and trimmed, so every now and again there'll be like a plant that overhangs the little walkway area. Just putting some bushes around the side there, which I will probably continue around the edge of the build when I carry on with the rest of it, but for now I only did the front because I was sort of just getting the basic layout at the like front garden and structure of the house sorted for this bit, which obviously I didn't think I was going to have to do separate videos. I just was going to do one big video and then just talk about that, and I've actually struggled a little bit, if you haven't noticed, to talk about this. I'm not used to just sort of thinking of just what I did on the structure. I'm normally thinking of the family that I've done it for and the layout and why the rooms are what they are and why they're arranged how they are. But that was different because I can't really tell you all the stuff about the family because it's a secret till I start my LP. I wanted to have the greenery sort of growing over the edge here because I thought it looked quite cool with these little mini, like, tiny balcony thingies either side of the actual balcony. And then putting in all of the lights to make sure everywhere's lit up at night so it looks quite nice, and also so you can see where you're going. Adding in some extra foliage underneath that tree because it looked a bit barren considering the rest of them were all very like wild looking. I've been watching a lot of SimorLater videos. He's really good at his landscaping, so I've been like taking tips and adding in more rocks and stuff. I don't really do that. Putting in those strips at the front from Dino because I really like them and I didn't even know they existed until recently when I was watching someone else's build video. I was like, I have to put them in because they look really cute, and it sort of adds that bit of a Mediterranean feel, I think, to the house, which even though it's probably not coloured to the correct scheme for Mediterranean, I quite like to think it was like sort of a Mediterranean build. Maybe they've renovated that. Anyway guys, this is the end of this part of the video and build, so please let me know what you think, leave a like or a comment, and I hopefully will have the other video up soon. Anyway, thanks guys, bye!